and a great honor to be given the opportunity to talk about our bilateral relationships and how we can move from the current excellent diplomatic ties that we enjoy with Brazil to even better relationships when it comes to the economy. When we look at our trade figures, we can clearly see, as stated by His Excellency Minister Zidane, that there is definitely a lot of potential. There is a trade level that is good, balanced between our countries, complementary. We are exporting fertilizers, phosphates, and you're exporting agricultural products. But again, we think that there is way much more things to be doing together when we look at our geographical positioning. Both countries can play the role of logistical hubs for greater markets. Morocco is one of the most open economies in the world. Morocco has currently free trade agreements with more than 90 countries. Morocco has a direct access to the European markets, but also to the Middle East. We have a free trade agreement with the Arab League nations. And we are one of the leading country when it comes to the entry into force of the AFCFTA, the African Free Trade Agreement. Brazil is the leading economy in Latin America. It is also a very powerful country when it comes to exports in Mercosur. And we clearly see that this Atlantic Ocean that connects us is a new corridor that we can be building together. We have to build that bridge. Good news is there is a vision here in Morocco that is really compatible with the one in Brazil. It has been stated before. You look at what Morocco has been doing in its own continent. We call it South-South cooperation. We've been heavily investing in our continent, in Africa. Matter of fact, Morocco is the second largest African investor in Africa. And if we go beyond just the fact that we are one of the largest investors in our continent, we are also putting together strategies to make our neighbors benefit from our positioning. Now, the Atlantic Initiative that has been brought by His Majesty King Mohammed VI is exactly or an example or a great example of what we intend to do in order to make our continent benefit from our positioning. This Atlantic Initiative can be brought to our Brazilian partners as well, because it will create that corridor, that it's not just Morocco as an entry point, it's now the entire African continent that can be accessible through Morocco. Now, if you look at what Morocco can do with Brazil, it's the exact same thing. Corridors already exist from Brazil to the rest of Latin America. And we are currently also looking to diversify our exports. So how can we do that? Well, today is a great example of things that we need to do. We need to connect you. We need to connect business communities. We need to get to know each other. We need to start working on first successes together. And let alone the big names of attending today, our friends from Embraer, for instance, that are working on plans in developing their footprint in Morocco. We need also to work at a level that will allow the entrepreneurs to come and fully benefit from what Morocco has to offer. Africa, and this is something that I'm sure you know very well, Africa is going to be the leading population in a couple of decades. So it's definitely the market of the future. And for a country like Brazil that has the credibility in becoming and being, because you are, one of the most powerful economies in the world, you cannot let Africa out of your scope. And so you will need to partner, because there is a know-how on how you can do business in Africa. The good news is Morocco has been developing this know-how very early on. And we're strongly encouraging our partners to look at Morocco differently, not just as a market, because the market would be rather small, but when you have free trade agreements with more than 90 countries and you're offering access to 2.5 billion consumers worldwide, well, you're changing scales. And so this is really what we want to offer our partners with. And I'm really encouraging, again, the business communities to get together, co-invest, look at common opportunities. Same goes for the Moroccan business community. Latin America is a world that seems like it's a far from Morocco, but it's not that far actually. However, we do not have the know-how. We do have our own expertise, but we do not have the market know-how, which you do have. And so by creating those synergies, by working together under a common vision, and by creating more opportunities to connect, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to win together. We have a say in Morocco, and whenever we partner with a business community, with a country, we say that the 1 + 1 needs to make 3, not 2. We need to create synergies in the way we conduct business together. And again, sky is the limit when it comes to opportunities. A lot of things have been mentioned before. We talked about energy transition, we talked about mining opportunities, we talked about, of course, opportunities in agribusiness, but we need to go even beyond that. Our president for private sector, Mr. Shakib Laij, mentioned automotive industry. I mean, this is one of the leading industry in Brazil. It's also one of our leading industry in Morocco. We need to use that to create more trade opportunities between our two countries. And again, we also need to align on how we want to make both our industries benefit from our market access. So I will not be long, but in conclusion, I just want to stress again the fact that working together is the solution. Exchanging with private sector, between having business community, exchanging together in identifying potential synergies in their business, in their common businesses, for us is the key starting point for meeting our full potential in trade. Thank you very much.